So on a beautiful day like today, you really should go and check out one of the must-see sites in Tianshui. That is the Fushi Temple. Now, Fushi is a Chinese legend. He was said to have been born in Tianshui over 7,000 years ago and is accredited with bringing fishing, hunting and animal husbandry to Chinese civilization. Let's go and check out his temple.
伏羲呢，他是咱中华民族的一位原始氏族部落首领，生活的时间呢，在距今7000年左右。他也是中国文化最早的缔造者。咱说到的先天八卦就是由他所创化的。在伏羲时代还出现了中国文字最早的雏形，中国古代的礼仪制度，比方说这种婚庆礼仪制度，也是从伏羲时代开始的。他也制造了中国古代最早的乐器。另外呢，我们也知道，中华民族经常说自己是龙的子孙、龙的传人，伏羲氏族就是中华民族龙图腾的缔造者。那么之前我们看到了伏羲形象呢是人首蛇形的造型，这就是早期以蛇为主体图腾的一种表现形式。刚才我们说到了伏羲他最大的功绩就是创化八卦，而这种理论呢，在中国古代是有很多运用的。比方说，咱们中国古代它是一个农业大国。这种理论也是用在农业生产里面。您看，在我们的头顶上方，这就有一个相当于西方星座的这样一个星宿图。中国人呢是把它分为28个星宿。伏羲就是长期对于天体行星运行规律的一个总结，然后把它用在了生产，最多的就是农业生产。
Okay, I think I just about got most of that, but essentially, Fushi, in all his wisdom, calculated the movement of the stars, and through that he estimated when would be the best times to farm the land. So basically, he sorted out agriculture. What a legend! 但是应该大部分的中国人都明白这个吗？
这也不是。其实呢，我们说到的先天八卦思想，它囊括了很多方面。比方说，它在军事上有应用，在我们的美学方面也有运用，等等很多方面。其实中国人很多也不懂太极，它太深奥了。
So it's not just me who doesn't understand the whole thing. I think I got the essentials. I hope. 谢谢。
不客气。那我们这儿呢还有一个互动平台，你可以看一下。
Fushi is thought to have been the first mythical emperor of China. His miraculous birth as a divine being with a serpent's body is said to have occurred in the 29th century BC. Some representations show him with a leaf-wreathed head growing out of a mountain, or as a man clothed in animal skins. Fushi is said to have discovered the famous Chinese trigrams used in divination, and thus to have contributed to the development of the Chinese writing system. Not content with that, there's a whole list of achievements ascribed to Fushi. He domesticated animals and taught his people to cook, to fish with nets and to hunt with weapons made of iron. He likewise instituted marriage as a part of a system of etiquette. The practice became for the man to pay the families of the woman as a way of compensating them for their loss. Before Fushi showed up, people were living in caves, so he also taught them how to build houses. All in all, that's a pretty impressive CV. The Ming Dynasty temple was begun in 1483 to commemorate China's earliest ancestor. The temple is a typical Ming Dynasty structure that, despite renovations in the Qing Dynasty, still retains its Ming format. Located on the western part of the Fushi Road in Tianshui City, the Temple of Fuxi is also called the Taihao Gong. The temple was completed in 1490 during the reign of Emperor Hongzhi and covers a total area of 6,000 square meters. Every year, from the 13th day of the first month by the lunar calendar, Tianshui people flock here to pay their respects to Fushi. Not only is the place always packed with people paying their respects at this time of the year, but on the 13th, 14th and 15th, productions and spectacles are staged for the crowd. You'll find singing and dancing, and even Chinese opera. Most festivals in China take place according to the Chinese lunar calendar, in which the first day of the month is marked by the new moon, while the full moon occurs in the middle of the month. Interestingly, you'll find that many Tianshui locals actually use the lunar calendar when discussing their birthdays and so on, which can sometimes get a bit confusing. Don't say we didn't warn you. Starting in the afternoon of the 15th day, right through until the 16th, you'll find people sticking things into and burning holes in paper cutouts shaped like humans. Whereas in most parts of the world, and even in southern China, sticking things on imitation bodies has negative connotations and is generally compared to African voodoo rituals. Here, it's seen as a good thing. And you can see how popular it is, with hundreds of people literally queuing to help their loved ones in some way.
所以这个是女的，男的是女的是吧？
这是男的，这是女的。
是吗？ So what you do here at the Fushi Temple is you collect these things. Say you're ill, or a friend of yours is ill, or your parents in any way, and you want them to feel better. You buy one of these things, one of these sort of little figurines, paper figurines. They put them up, they glue them up, and then wherever they're ill, you pierce with one of these incense sticks, and hopefully they'll feel better. So 这个是男女，
这是女。
对对对，所以是生病的是吗？
就是。
所以如果是头疼是方头，如果是这
个就点头。
所以是我妈妈的眼睛，所以是。Okay, so mommy's eyes. Right. 好，然后是爸爸的这 and daddy's knees. 谢谢，就这个是吗？
就好了。
All right, let's really hope that works out okay.
All the celebrations come to a head on the night of the 15th. The temple is absolutely chock-a-block because this is when the Fushi worshipping ceremony begins. Doesn't matter at all how cold it is or what the weather's like. But people start getting turned away as the evening progresses. The ceremony starts at 10:30 p.m. and some people have been in there since 7 o'clock. What you'll also find is devotees carrying food with them to give to Fushi as a way of honouring their ancestor and praising his memory. A swift glance at the offerings table and you'll see that no one is being thrifty. Evidently, only the finest food is thought good enough for this revered man.
So we're lucky enough to be here on the most important social event in the Fushi Temple. It starts in the afternoon of the 15th, but really kicks off from midnight, so going into the 16th in the first month of the lunar calendar. This is when it's all going to kick off, and hopefully you'll get to see it too.
People keep arriving at the Temple of Fuxi right up until midnight. Why is that? Well, the answer is simple. Everyone wants to have the chance to be one of the first to light their incense and pray to Fushi. This is a ritual that you can find in many other temples, most notably at the Huangdaxian Temple in Hong Kong. And if you're one of the first, it's seen as lucky, as the gods will receive your prayers first. But don't let all the hustle and bustle detract from a great event, which is late, loud, and riotous, but steeped in Chinese tradition. It's a real family event with children everywhere. On the 15th day of the first month of the lunar year, the Lantern Festival takes place under a full moon. It marks the end of the Chinese New Year festivities. The Lantern Festival has its origins back in the legends of the Han Dynasty over 2,000 years ago. According to Chinese tradition, when the first bright full moon of the new year was hanging in the sky, there should be thousands of colourful lanterns hung out for people to appreciate it. It's also a very important time for families to get together to celebrate and enjoy the festive atmosphere. And who doesn't love a good fireworks display? A perfect ending to a perfect 4-day trip around Tianshui.
So with the fireworks going off all around me, this is what it's like in Tianshui after midnight on going into the 16th day. It's crazy. It effectively marks the end of the Chinese New Year celebration here in Tianshui, which I think is pretty fitting because it marks the end of our show as well. I hope you've enjoyed looking around this wonderful city and everything it has to offer, and especially what Chinese New Year celebrations are really like. I'm Marc Edwards, and I'll catch you very soon on another episode of Travelogue.